Hello, welcome to the course Practical Introduction to the Svelte Framework. And this lecture will have a short introduction to the Svelte Framework. Svelte is a JavaScript UI framework that is smaller and faster than other JavaScript frameworks such as Vue.js, React, and Angular. Svelte is also a compiler, which makes it different from other JavaScript frameworks. Svelte comes with several unique advantages such as build-time compilation, which means your application code is compiled at the build step before it reaches the browser. This is great as it produces a highly optimized JavaScript code that is small in size. And it is also quite a departure from other libraries are used to doing, which forces the browser to download larger bundle sizes, resulting with increased load time and memory usage. Having a small bundle size in applications is ideal for small devices and devices with low power and poor network connection. Unlike other frameworks, Svelte has no need for the virtual DOM. Svelte is able to surgically update the DOM whenever it is needed. And this is a great plus for performance as the browser no longer needs to keep in memory the copy of the DOM and sync it with the real DOM every time there is an update. Another advantage is that the CSS you write inside a component is completely encapsulated. That means the styles you write in one component won't leak to other components. And this is great as it reduces the amount of time you spend worrying about CSS specificity. Compared to other frameworks, the Svelte framework is small in size and contains a small number of APIs. The documentation is very clear and is supported by examples and a Svelte playground where you can update and run the examples. Svelte is also easy to learn. It comes with a limited number of special syntax which does not take a long time to learn. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are most of what you need to write a Svelte application. Components are the building blocks of a Svelte application. Svelte components are normally made of three parts: script, style, and template. The script and style are optional, whereas the template is required. It is inside the script tags where you write JavaScript variable and function declarations. Also, all the dependencies that you import into the component go inside the script tag. Variables that are declared with the export keyword are props and are expected to be passed from another component. And variables declared without the export keyword can be used to store the component's local state. All CSS selectors inside your component belong inside the style tags. Template is the essential part of the component. There are no special wrappers for the template. You can have any HTML tags or components you import from another file. Svelte provides if-else and each blocks to allow branching and loops. Svelte makes it possible for you to listen to events with the on directive. Together with the on directive, you specify the name of the event, such as click, submit, or key up, and assign to it an event handler that gets called when the event occurs. Unlike in other frameworks, you can add event modifiers such as prevent defaults once or capture in line with the event inside your template. In React, for example, you need to invoke the modifiers method on the event object inside the handler function. You no longer need to do that with Svelte. It is also possible to notify other components of what happens in one component with an event dispatcher. To do that, you'll need to import the create event dispatcher function and create a dispatch function from it, into which you pass the name of your event and the payload that you want the other components to have access to. When you have input fields inside your component, it's possible to bind the values that get added to the fields to a particular variable inside your component. To do that, you can use a directive called bind together with the value attribute of the input field. One of the biggest concerns when building a large application is state management. Frameworks like React outsource this concern to other libraries, among which Redux is the most used. But Svelte comes with its own built-in store that lets you share your application state globally. The store acts as a single source of truth inside the app. Sharing the authentication state of the user is one use case where the Svelte store could be used. The store object comes with methods such as writable, readable, and derived, which help you restrict access to the particular object you will share across the app. For instance, the object you create with the writable method will allow updates from anywhere within the app where the object is imported, whereas the store object created with a readable method cannot be updated. A Svelte component has methods that get called at different stages of the component's lifecycle. These are called lifecycle methods. OnMount, before update, after update, and onDestroy are lifecycle methods. For instance, the onMount lifecycle method allows you to run code after the component is first rendered. This is a method that we'll often use in our projects, primarily for calling a fetch function that makes network calls.